Hey guys, welcome to a nice preseason episode. I thought I'd take you guys with me, show you guys what I'm up to. We're going to go out in the field, do a little bit of field work. I'll show you guys some sets that I will plan on incorporating for this trapping season. Might be even a nice educational part for you guys. I'm going to show you some sets, some set locations, what I'm thinking about, why I'm doing those. At the same time, I'm going to be doing some bait and lure testing for another guy. Come back in another week or two, check it out, see if anything came through. And should be a good little preseason episode. Trying to catch 100 coyotes this year, and it's gonna take some work to get there. And here we go. Feels so good to get out and to be starting scouting, putting in some mock sets, testing some new bait and lure. I'm so excited for this next trapping season. It's gonna be super awesome. I brought you to this first location. I'm gonna share with you why I think this is a good location for me to test my bait and my lure. This will also be a really good location for me to come back into the trapping season and make a couple sets. There are a couple things that I really like about this set location. I want to describe that to you right now. Okay, first off, this is a north and south ditch. You can see there's a little buffer zone here for a road system. It goes quite a ways, a good quarter to half a mile that direction, and a good quarter, half a mile in that direction as well. We've got corn on this side, and we've got this nice road system that transitions into this next field. So this is gonna be where your combines are gonna cross to be able to pick the next field over. Of course, it's in beans. This is in corn. This is still going to be good. We've got the road system here. I want to make sure that when I take inventory coming through, I'm going to check the 2-track. So that's usually the first thing that I do when I come out. Now, later on, of course, in the season, all the corn will be picked, but they're still going to run on these 2-tracks. So if you're looking for coyotes in your area, check the 2-track for scat. Check the 2-track for coyote sign. Okay, so you picture this corn behind me is going to be picked. I know with this road system right here, typically speaking, there's going to be some grain carts going this direction as well. The coyotes will follow the trails of the 2-tracks on the grain carts as well. Don't discount that. They will always take the path of least resistance. When those grain carts go through these fields, they push the corn stubble down, and those are also good ideas to check those signs as well. So that's probably going to lead into this area. I'm going to make 2 sets here. I'm going to make a set. Now this is a north-south, so I always set on the northwest side. My northwest wind will be coming across here. I'm going to put this trap set right here, right off the 2-track. I always say when I'm trapping along the 2-tracks, that as I come through, I want to be able to hit them with my door. That's how close I want to be to that 2-track. So we're going to set that set right here at a 45 so that the wind will make it nice and inviting. Anything that comes this direction. Okay, so I'm on the other side. Probably, more than likely, I'm going to be right in the middle, right about here, right off of that 2-track. Anything driving through here, I usually try to set in the middle or off to the side. So when the bean stubble comes out, this is the southeast side. I'm going to be facing it this direction, or I could set it out here with this. But I'm going to miss if I set it in the middle side. I'm always going to face the southeast side. Now you're probably wondering, why don't I put it in the middle? If you don't mind people running over your stuff, you know as well as I do that the coyotes are traveling through the middle, but I always try to hit the corners. I'm playing the wind in my favor, and on the southeast side, facing to the northwest, I'm going to catch that visual as well. Let's get a couple sets in. Here we go, not bad for the first set. For some reason, I left my pan cover at the house, so there's my hole, my mouse hole set at a 45. And I've got my test bait in the hole at a 90. I call these a mouse hole. And then my test lures on the right side here, and then I'm going to put a little urine on the left side. Nice trench type set. A very, very effective set for me. Works really well. That's the first set. Let's go get the second one in. Okay, here's the last set. I'm taking advantage of the right side of the 2-track once again. I'm off 3 feet I went ahead and went with this direction. There's my set. It's not too far off the grass line. It's a little bit in or into the brush, but got my hole with my bait in it and my test lure, and then I'm gonna do urine on this side as well. So there's my set, my trench set. Got 2 in here, good locations, and we're gonna check that out later, see how it works. All right, here's where the work starts for me. I dry my peat moss in the September portion, late August maybe. I just went to the store. That's the peat moss that they kind of buying. It seems to work pretty good for me. It's called Majestic Earth. I will go through about 8 bags of peat moss each trapping season. That's what I went through last year, 8 bags of this. They're about $20 a bag. It's $160 just in the bedding material. So I'm gonna dry out some of that. We definitely wanna show you that process. If you wanna check it out, I'm gonna show you how I dry this out, and then later on I'm gonna sift it as well. Okay guys. Oh, they probably weigh about a good 40 pounds each. Nice, pretty good little workout. This is probably one of the more tedious projects that I'll have every trapping season. I like my peat moss. It works really good for me. I also like to wax dirt sometimes. I'll run a bunch of wax dirt, and you'll be able to see that hopefully in future episodes. But the peat moss is fairly inexpensive, and it lasts quite a while. But it still kind of comes in chunks because the bags are wet, and you can kind of see. And usually there'll be a lot of these types of sticks that I don't want in my trap bed, if that makes sense. So what I like to do is I get my bales out. I'm going to spread it out as best I can, put a fan on it, and then try to knock all the clumps out of it now. It's a lot easier to sift than sifting later. So if I took this bedding material straight out of the container in the winter month, if I set that, it'll freeze, and it'll clump, and it'll stick to my trap. Now, what I want to do is I want to lay it all out, which is what I'm doing here now. I'm going to dry it out really good. I'm going to rake it, keep drying it, put it on a fan. I want to get my peat moss to where it's super, super light and fluffy. That tells me that there's really no moisture in it, if that makes sense. So that when I pull it out of my container in the December, January portions when I really need it, it'll be dry, it won't clump to my trap. The good thing about peat moss is that it kind of repels the moisture. So when you get a good rain on top of your trap bed, and you get a freeze, it'll be like a pancake when you flip it over. It's a really good bedding, a really good trap bedding material for the winter months. Probably second to wax dirt in my opinion. Works really, really well. The only disadvantage that I usually have to peat moss is that the wind likes to blow it. So I put a little dirt over top of my sets. Okay guys, I've got my peat moss all kind of spread out nice and neat. I want to get all these little chunks out as best as I can. Like I said earlier, this is probably one of the more tedious processes that I do every season. So you can kind of tell this was a one big chunk and it's completely wet. If I let that completely dry, it'll be like a brick. And another thing is, remember, I plan on using no pan covers on my traps this fall. If you can see this big long stick, I definitely don't want that over my trap. That would be enough stick to prevent a capture of a coyote. That's something we definitely don't want to do. So it's quite a bit of work. As you can kind of tell, just get it all laid out here. Gonna let it dry. Gonna put a fan on it. We're gonna sift it and package it. Okay guys, second location I want to take you guys to today. This is an awesome spot here to test bait lure. I will catch in this location here. I've got this west to east fence line right here. It goes a good quarter mile almost. There's a nice pond down here. I'll catch on that pond. One of my hottest locations is on the corners of the pond dam. They cross right there. There's cattle back in here now. Of course, they'll take the cattle out later. But I want to show with you guys how I'm going to set this location. Can't really beat it. Coyotes are going to come through off of the 2-track or off of the cattle. You can see this. There should be a nice long cattle trail right in the middle. It goes a long ways that direction. Now, I usually try to set on these the northwest corner. I'm going to set up there on the top side. I'm going to do some bait and lure testing, and then I always set on the southeast side as well, facing to the northwest. So I'll set the northwest corner, and then I'll set this back corner going the opposite direction. Now there's a good trail that comes down through here. You're going to catch coyotes, or not coyotes, you're going to catch your raccoons. Bobcats will use those as well. If you've got a good trail that cuts through there and it's really good, don't be afraid to put in, like right here, you could definitely put in trail set on those, and I can probably show you how to do one of those. I'll probably practice that as well, but let me punch in these 2 sets and I'll show those to you here real quick. Here we go, finished set, guys. There's my hole, my trench set. Ground's super dry. Gonna put the bait in the hole, collar on the side, and you're in back here. And that'll be a good producer. You got a nice trail going that way. You got a general northwest wind going this way, so I'm gonna catch whatever's coming off of that. And it's right off the 2-track. So probably it's about as good a spot as you can get right here. This set will produce. Okay, I got this set in. I got a nice little fan base here going. This one turned out so much better. So you can see there's my hole. I did a mouse hole set, a little smaller set, or hole with my rebar stake. Came in a lot better. Ground's super dry right now. But you just see that nice trench in the middle. It steps down a good 3 inches. You can see where my pan is. Gonna do the test lure over here, bait in the hole, and then use coyote urine on the side. Great location though, right off the 2-track. There's another good trail coming through here, so if the wind blows the south or the east, I'm good to go. Anyways, that's another good, awesome location and a good set, and I'm getting a little better. Okay guys, this will be the last set, probably one of my favorite sets. So we're coming off of here. We were just talking about potentially bobcats traveling along this trail. This is going to be called my trail set. Very, very effective set. Doesn't require a lot of bait or lure. You can even set these blind. Super effective set. Okay, so where I want to put my trap is in the middle of the trail and offset by maybe an inch. So as the coyotes travel down the trail, they step 1 foot on top of the other. I have 4 opportunities. That's 4 legs to catch that coyote coming through here. The nice thing about this set, and I've said this in a lot of my videos, it takes 0, 0, 0 thinking on the coyote's part. He's already traveling the trail, and I just slow him down. So I'm gonna, all right, I about have my bed out. I wanted a good 3 inches and a good 1 inch off down below the actual trail itself. That'll give me an opportunity to show them where my pan is. And so I'm going deep right now. I like my Bridger dogless. Number 3s for this job. Sits a little bit more open. I just like the way they sit in the trail. Putting the 2 levers this way, if they step Right here, I probably still have him, if that makes sense. Right over here, I probably still have him, but I like to have the two levers facing towards me. Going deep, like I said, probably a little deeper than I should. Normally I would hide this. And I'm gonna get that bedded in so that all four corners don't wobble. Okay, I'm just starting to do the bedding of the trap, no wobbling on the corners. I like to put the loose chain or the extra chain on the loose jaw. I feel like it kind of helps support that loose jaw in case if they step on it. I've always felt like I like to have my chain on the loose jaw. It's always been something I've done over the past. That's where I'm going to put it so that when they step there, it's a little more supportive. Over here on the corners, should be good. And then I'm just going to put my pan cover on top of that, and I'm going to start blending it in with the trail. Trap's bedded perfect, no issues at all. I'm gonna start building in the sides now. I want the pan to be the deepest part of the trail so it kind of funnels right here. I might even make this a little more inviting for them. Got a nice little trick there. Just kind of slope it there in the middle. That's where they want to step their feet. Right there, guiding it into my pan. Very natural. Now I'm going to build up the sides where the lever is. And the other sides. A difference of a ½ inch can make a big difference in where he's going to step his foot, guys. Nice and packed down. Now all you can see in that trail right here is that pan. One last step, and then what I like to do, I'm going to go ahead and blend this one in since it's got a lot of grass. What I always do, all right, so I'm taking the grass way back there, got my scissors, going to blend it in a little bit. Now this I probably won't have to do really quite so much in the fall, but since this is all grass, I'm going to pack it down as best as I can. Then I'm going to spread some dirt over the top of my set. So now you can see it's pretty well blended in, nice and neat. You can hardly tell it's there. Now we're going to throw dirt over the trail. Okay, last and final step. Still have my trail right here. Now we're going to blend it in really well. We're going to confuse him. So this is all dirt right here. Gonna add some dirt on the trail. Gonna lay it down real thick on both sides. I think that kind of gives him a more soft feel. Don't want him getting any ideas where that trap might be. All right, last, gonna just open up that pan a little more. Now I'm gonna apply my bait and lure. Usually I'll smear a gland lure right here, about 6 to 8 inches straight back, and then about 2 inches off centered. That'll be the upwind side. The wind's gonna come this direction. Other side, it'll be over here on the downwind side. I always put it right here and there. They're coming through, the wind hits them, it slows them down even more, and I got a catch. Other than that, I'm not gonna put a lot of sticks or anything. But we're test baiting and we're test lure this gland lure. And I'm gonna put some right here. I'm gonna hide it. And put the other one on the other side. Same situation. Always like to hide it, so. There we go. Here's the trap pan. The bait and lure's here. The bait and lure's here. The trail's right down the middle. Very effective set. All right, so here's that set. Now check it out. It's pretty slick. You can see the trail. Can't really see much going on. Can't even tell the difference, can you guys? Trap pan's right here. Got about a 2-inch depression right here where the pan is. Like I said earlier, bait and lure here, bait and lure here. There's gonna be fur coming and going right there. And we're gonna catch them. So, I had a great time. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Doing some pre-season setting. Just to be getting a little bit better. Testing our bait and lure, new stuff. I'm gonna pull these, of course. And I'm practicing for the Missouri convention. Gonna do a fur demo for coyotes. And it'll be fun. So I can't wait for that. Hey, follow me on this preseason. I plan on kicking out some more videos. You can track my progress. Plan is to catch 100 coyotes this year, trap 4 states, and you guys are invited. Do me a big favor if you could. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Otherwise, click the big thumbs up. Helps me out a lot. I'm Jinx, and have a great day.